Africa under the CBIT Global Support Program. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone. I hope you can hear me. And without wasting a lot of time, I would like to run you through the program of the network of the meeting today. I will be moderating the sessions during the meeting, and we shall have our Global Support Coordinator, Fatima Zahra, giving the opening remarks. And then I will take you through key achievements and results of the CBIT in 2023 for the network. And then I will also take you through the interventions from different countries where we have different speakers giving us their insights and experiences on how they benefited from the in-country trainings for 2023. And then we shall also have feedback and on country transparency actions for 2024. And we shall have a discussion after the Mentimeter because we had your feedback already provided. And then we shall have a group photo, and then we shall have a presentation about the annual work plan for 2024. And then we shall have discussions and interventions from countries and the insights on how countries feel for the activities that we have planned for 2024. And then we shall have the final Menti survey where we shall be expecting to get your feedback. I hope you stay with us till the end. Thank you. So without wasting your time, I would like to invite our global coordinator, Madam Fatima Zahra, to give opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheila. Hi, colleagues. It's very nice to see some familiar faces already and see some familiar names. I hope you had a nice start of the year and you are energized from your leave. I hope most of you were able to take some time off during the holiday period. So Happy New Year. And we are really excited to be here today. For this annual meeting for the Transparency Network of Anglophone Africa. So as Sheila mentioned, I'm the global coordinator of the CBIT Global Support Program that is funded by GEF, implemented by UNEP, and executed by the UNEP Copenhagen Climate Center. As you know, the project aims at providing support to countries in their transparency efforts. We work through various modalities, mainly through the regional and linguistic networks, and we have established 10 transparency networks, among which, of course, is your network, the Anglophone Africa. We have started the operations and launched this network a bit less than a year ago. A lot has happened since then in terms of operationalizing the network and providing support to countries. As you might remember, we have started by a capacity need assessment based on which priorities and the work plan for the network were developed. And then we started with delivering activities such as in-person meeting, experience sharing webinars and activities, direct support to countries, and more. Sheila will go into more details about the activities that we have undertaken since the launch of the project. We had a lot of learning this year, and we would like also to hear from you your feedback and impressions on how we can improve our activities and support to the network, and how the whole network operations basically can be improved. As you know, this year is critical as the BTR is due at the end of it in December 2024. The situation in the network is very diverse in terms of readiness to submit by the deadline. So the pressure is really on now this year. The recent experience from the global stocktake that was finalized in Dubai highlighted the crucial importance of transparency and how critical it is for a comprehensive and a more evidence-based stocktake. So this transparency and submitting BTR is really important at the global level for the global stocktake and for hopefully making more ambitious NDCs. But also we should not forget how important it is at the national level to allow for evidence-based policies. So from our side, we plan to intensify our support activities to help countries in their efforts at this critical time. We have developed a new work plan for the year, for which we would like to get also your feedback and suggestions to overcome the challenges faced, also in terms of organization of some of the activities. Therefore, for this annual meeting, the objective is to check in, take stock, and get your feedback on how the network activities have been going over the last year, what went well, what didn't go so well, and get your suggestions and insights on what can be improved going forward, and how we as a project and project team can provide the best support to you in this very crucial time this year. I would like also to take this opportunity to thank all who have participated to the activities this year, hosted workshops, shared experiences from their countries, asked questions during meetings, attended meetings. Active participation is very important and creates a sense of community in the network where we can all help each other and share our learning. So this can be aided also by the Climate Transparency Platform that I also invite you to make use of to the extent possible. I'm very much looking forward to this meeting deliberations, hear your feedback and suggestions, and I and the team are also very much looking forward to a great year working very closely with you. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Fatma Zahra, for those opening remarks that are building very good momentum for Anglophone Africa, and the assurances that you will still support us. It is really encouraging at this moment when most countries in Africa are building momentum for the BTR processes. So I would like to take us to the next session of the presentation, where I'll be taking you through our main results and achievements within the Anglophone Africa Network, what we achieved together. And I'm also excited to see that you were able to give us feedback. I'll be presenting the results of what your thoughts were, and that is very good. So according to what was planned from the work plan last year, I hope you can see my presentation. We were able to achieve the launch of the Capacity Needs Assessment Survey. And of course, most countries, apart from one, nominated all the experts. I hope this year that country will be able to nominate their experts. And then we also were able to finalize the survey results and share with you the report. And even this report is still at the platform. You can still have access to the report. We also had an inception workshop, which you well attended, and it was a success. And our work plan was approved by most of you through bilateral meetings, where you affirmed the activities that we conducted during 2023. We had several in-country activities where we were able to support countries at an individual level based on their capacity needs. We supported Eswatini on hands-on training of national experts on the development of the NDC indicators to enhance tracking of NDC commitments. And then we also had another interaction on hands-on training on modeling tools for projecting GHG emissions using the GACMO model for energy sector with Seychelles. We had another experience in country in Malawi for GHG inventory and data collection and archiving and calculating of the IPCC under the waste sector. And this one is almost done. We had planned an online post-support activity, which we hope to implement very soon. but the other part of in-country was done. And then we also were able to develop roadmaps in preparation for development of the BTR for Uganda and Sierra Leone. And these were really very good in-country activities. Then under regional activities, the network was able to achieve meetings through virtually transitioning towards ETF requirements of BTR, and this was a virtual support, where we also got support virtually from the global team and UNFCCC and GEF and UNDP. And then we also were able to conduct a webinar on institutional arrangements for transparency systems, including lessons learned. And we had 2 countries share, Liberia and Zimbabwe, but it was an interactive session where even other countries were able to share their experience. We had another webinar sharing experiences where we had 2 countries share about support needed and support received on reporting requirements and best practices in tracking climate finance in the region. And Kenya and Ghana presented their approaches and their systems, what they are used to track. And we had also other countries like South Africa and Malawi share during the session, their insights, and also the Gambia. And then we also had other webinar hands-on experience on which was for all the countries in the region. It was a regional hands-on training on NDC tracking, including tools and indicators. And most countries attended, apart from 1 country that did not attend the meeting. And I hope this year they will be in position to attend the regional meeting, which we are planning. We had another webinar on introduction to new CBIT integrated platform and dedicated workspace, which is the climate transparency platform that Fatma Zahra talked about, where we encourage everyone to use. And this year we hope to set up even a community of practice for different experts. And we hope that it will be a very good resource for all of us to enhance our capacity and enhance transparency. And then the other achievement we had was sharing a best practices webinar on institutional arrangements for transparency, where we had Liberia and Zimbabwe share their experiences with other countries. Apart from all those, I have a pictorial here of the number of events that happened in the region. And we had regional events and webinars. There were 8, and we had 5 in-country activities. We had a very good representation of male and also female, but we need more female to be participants in our meetings. As you can see, we had 60% male and 40% female. So I hope in the near future we shall have more. So as you can see, we have some photos from our regional meeting in Pretoria and also from our other activities in Seychelles and in-country activity in Eswatini. So in terms of our regional support, as you can remember, most of you were part of this regional training on NDC tracking in Pretoria, which was organized in collaboration with PATPA and hosted by South Africa. And I hope this year we shall also see some of you participate in these events, which are very transformational. So in terms of the number of respondents or of participants in the network, we were able to have around for the regional events and webinars, we had over 350 participants. And then for in-country, we had around 72 participants who were able to join in for our in-country activities. Considering the satisfaction levels, of course, here we know that the number of those who respond to our surveys sometimes are less than the participants, but we are able to achieve very satisfied for most of the trainings. As you can see, we have 64%, and then satisfied 34%. Then for some of the events and trainings, some participants were neither satisfied nor dissatisfied. I hope in the future they will have a clear view on our trainings. But in general, we got these surveys from 6 events and 5 in-country activities. So these are some of the pictorial for some of the in-country activity in Eswatini and also in Uganda. And I would like to take you through the transparency, the climate transparency platform, where we are urging most of us to really use this platform. It's a one-stop center, which is providing countries with information that has with information and knowledge on climate transparency. We try as much as possible to update the climate transparency platform with the updated training materials, even outside our training, like CGE materials. So we urge you members to be able to utilize the platform. As you can see, I tried to highlight the page on Anglophone Africa, where it even provides some of the upcoming events. But also, as you may be aware, we conducted a training for users, and we also encouraged you to register. So you can, as countries, you can also upload some of the events that are happening within your countries on transparency, on enhanced transparency activities. I know most of the countries have inception workshops on their CBIT projects and knowledge sharing. So all those, if they are uploaded, other countries can be able to learn from what you are doing. And also it is a good platform where even some of the activities some countries are struggling to implement, other countries have already implemented. So it would be nice that you upload so that it allows sharing beyond your country. So we also had regional exchange experiences and sharing of best practices. And like I had already mentioned, we had so many login from different parts of the world, even as you can see beyond Africa, depending on where people are located. But most importantly, I wanted to let you know that all these activities can be accessed on our climate transparency platform, as I have provided the links below. So you can go back and read and also see how the experiences were shared and how you can actually integrate some of the good lessons at national level. So from the different evaluation and feedback surveys that we run, most of the time we have meetings and webinars. I was able to synthesize some of the selected topics that were mentioned in most of the surveys for 2023. And I've made a list here. We have already considered some of these activities in our 2024 work plan, as I will be presenting in another presentation. But I just wanted to let you know from this slide that it's very important to participate in giving us feedback, because it helps us to inform better planning, but also to inform approaches that we use to deliver the capacity on enhanced transparency. So thank you so much for bringing out these issues, and I hope some of those that I have not highlighted here will be considered in our next year. So we have been able to produce some of the knowledge products and materials. Some of them are not yet uploaded here. They are going through national approvals, but I know there are so many good lessons learned, very unique from one country to another. And I urge you, I can support in just documenting a snapshot of some of those good lessons that even as a country you feel you have learned. Do not hesitate to reach out to me, but I'll be looking out and reaching out to you to be able to document some of those good lessons in a snapshot, in a leaflet, in a fact sheet, so that other countries are able to learn. And it's also good to share, because some of the elements might appear difficult for other countries to implement, but if well shared and documented, it becomes very easy. So I would like to thank you for listening, and this is where I stop for this presentation. And I would also like to thank the team that has really supported from the global support from the UNFCCC Center to support these activities in 2023, and I hope they will continue to support going forward. Thank you. So unless we have questions, next I would like to make a presentation on the feedback survey on your views about 2023. So I will show the Menti. I will share the Menti results of what came out of that survey that we ran. I don't know if you can see my Menti.
We can't see anything.
Sorry about that. I hope now you can see. Most of you have already logged in this Menti and you were able to give us your views. But just in case you were not able to give us your views, the Menti code is 62699130. You can still give us your views, but I will just take you through what we received from the members during the time when I was sending out this Menti. So one of the questions was, have you participated in activities in the CBIT-GSP Anglophone Africa Transparency Network in 2023? And most of you said yes, in more than 3 activities. Yes, in up to 3 activities. And we have 3 who said that in no activities. So I hope that this year you will be able to participate. And if you are not able to participate in the regional meetings, we have an opportunity for your country to send in an in-country request for support where we can support you. But as you can see, we got very few responses from you. So in total, there were around maybe 11 responses. So you can join the Menti on code 62699130. So we can actually get your feedback on if you have been able to participate in our activities. So from the views that we received about if yes, have you used the knowledge and skills acquired from the CBIT global support activities in your work? We have 4 saying yes to a great extent, 3 are saying yes to some extent, and 3 are saying no. But I know since we have started on our processes for the BTR development, most of us, we shall need this kind of support to utilize it for our reporting purposes for enhanced transparency. So I will expect to get more feedback as we go along during this meeting. So you can still give us feedback on how you think you have used this knowledge in the previous year. So our other question was about if yes, how have you used your knowledge and skills? So one of us said that I'm using my knowledge gained to assist the development of following documents, the BTR, the methane roadmap and action plan. And another one is saying that they're using it in NDC tracking in terms of understanding on how to access funding for BTR and national communication. And someone said that it helped better understand the BTR and ETF process and then MPGs and the planning of some and comprehensive understanding on filling the common tabular formats to track NDC progress. Then another one said that they have started planning for BTR and the processes, concepts in the BTR roadmap will be helpful. And then someone said they used the knowledge in preparing the PIP for the BTR transparency report. So your feedback are very important in understanding how you are utilizing the knowledge and skills, and it also gives us momentum on whether we should change the approach on how we should make our trainings more impactful. So this feedback is very important. Then what did you like in particular in support of the activities? So I like the overall approach of the activity. I participated in South Africa. And then another person said that the BTR guidance and roadmap tool and NDC tracking, they liked it. The workshop held in Pretoria in May 2023 was very fruitful. And then someone said that we plan to use the knowledge to develop the BTR, which will start in 2024. And then we like the ability to leverage the network created by the global support and the expertise availed to us in that network. And then someone else is saying that the reflections on negotiation process and in-country support were received on NDC tracking. And then someone said that building on hands-on training on NDC tracking, it prepared participants for the workshop in terms of data collection as well as detailed training. So we also had a question on how we can improve support on activities. Someone said that we provide long-term training of at least 7 days. And then someone said more interactive in-person trainings for better grasp of the ETF concepts. Activities to be allocated adequate time. I can see all these are talking about time for practical activities. For example, examples to enable better understanding, having WhatsApp group for the network would help for ease of reach out on other colleagues, especially coordinators for support. Yes, so we plan to have network WhatsApp groups for the communities of practice, which is more easy to manage because I had thought about it, but then the network is too big. I thought having communities of practice, it's more impactful where we are discussing content and technical aspects in relation to that. But also, I will also create a WhatsApp group of the CBIT-GSP support focal points for all the countries. And I think that one will also help to ease communication. So thank you for this guidance. And then more support to preparation of BTR, more training for GHG inventory. And these are good feedback to inform our work planning for 2024. So our other question was, do you have any other feedback on the activities in the transparency network conducted in 2023? Yes, so someone said encourage network to provide more training, a user manual for the platform as we still do not know how to use it. So we this one is still under development, but I can get more information from Susan on this. She will respond to that about the user manual, but we can also do a refresher, a retooling course on those who might be having challenges on how to upload information and how to interact with the platform. Thank you for that feedback. So our other question was about, do you have any suggestions for upcoming activities in Transparency Network? One of the suggestions was to provide technical support for the development of MRV framework for network to members that have not done so, tracking of climate finance, focus on adaptation and development of indicators for NDC tracking for climate finance received and needed, and then in-person training on elements of BTR. I hope you can still hear me. And then provide technical support for the development of MRV framework for network members that have not yet done so. I think this was repeated. Loss and damage, data acquisition, common reporting tables, and GHG projections. Then we continue. This one is encouraging us to continue with more capacity building exercises and institutional arrangements for NDC tracking. These are very good feedback and also learning points for informing our work planning. Our other question was about, have you interacted with climate transparency platform? Someone says no, someone says yes. Registered myself, my country profile, my country focal points. And then I have browsed the web of the CBIT global support, but the platform itself, the name is called Climate Transparency Platform. So you should also get used to calling it the right name. Then the platform is interactive and gives access to information on what other countries are doing. Yes, but I'm not able to get an email updates from the platform. I think this one we are working on it. The network forum is useless if I post and none can see my post or be notified of my post. Last time I posted, I did not get any response. We are working on this, and I think Susan can also give you the latest update on this. So how useful do you find the climate transparency platform? And 2 people so far have said they found it highly useful. One said moderately useful, and other 3 have said neutral. But getting more responses from you would be very helpful. So thank you so much for your feedback on this session, and it has been so helpful, and it will help us to improve. I can request Susan in the meantime to respond to the queries about the platform as I prepare for the next session.
Yes, of course.
Over to you,
Sheila.
Susan.
Thank you. And thank you also for the feedback on the platform. That is really useful for us. We have launched the platform in June last year, as you know, but yeah, we're still doing further updates, and there's still some bugs to be fixed, but we're working on it on a daily basis. And also the user manual will be ready this week, so we will share it. I guess in the beginning of next week with all of you, and if needed, we can also do like a refresher webinar, as you suggested. And if there's any issues you have with the registration on the platform, if you don't receive an email and so on, please reach out to us, or please reach out to Sheila, because we have a lot of users on the platform, and we try to unblock users and so on. But if there's anything that is if you have any issues with the registrations or with using the platform, please reach out to us, because it's hard to keep track of all users, and there's still some bugs in the system, but we're doing our best to fix everything. But please shoot us an email if there's anything that we can do for you directly. And yes, so the user manual will be, we know it has been quite a while since we talked about it, but it will be ready very soon. We will share it with all of you. We will also upload it to the platform. And we hope that you will get engaged in the platform in this year, and we have more activity also in the network forums and the communities of practice. And yeah, we just hope it will be a useful space for everyone. But thanks so much for the feedback. Highly appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Susan. So before we prepare for the next session, I would like to open the floor for feedback. What is your view? Though you did not feel the Menti, you might be having that feedback. We don't want to miss it today. So I would like to give you an opportunity to tell us how you feel about our activities for last year, and how you feel that we should improve. Kindly feel free to share with us. The floor is open. Thank you.
Sheila, there is a question in the chat from Irene. Irene, I just wanted to clarify, did you mean the trainings on the reporting tools that UNFCCC was providing during the COP? Irene, can you hear me? It's probably the case, because there was no, to my knowledge, there was no other trainings on the ETF apart from the trainings on the reporting tools. Yes, we are planning basically, I think Sheila will get to it a little bit later, but we are planning an in-person workshop on inventories, and we will be inviting UNFCCC that will come to provide a training on the inventory reporting tool. So that will be done. We will do the same in all other networks. However, we are aware that this year, as we will be concentrating on inventories, then the other aspects of the reporting tools will not be touched upon. We can ask UNFCCC if they would be able basically to provide virtual trainings on the reporting tool. It might be a little bit challenging to do it online, because we do normally hands-on sessions, where people walk around and show exactly the participants how to use the tool, and if they have some issue, help them resolve it, and so on. However, of course, this is not an ideal situation. We will see with UNFCCC how some virtual trainings can happen. For now, it's unfortunately only UNFCCC that do the training. No other support providers are able to do it because they are the ones working on the development. But we will do our best to provide that information to you, and also to communicate the various sessions that happen during this year, so that whenever there is an opportunity to participate, you may be able to participate.
Okay, thank you. I can see another question about, do all the 4 thematic experts for the 4 areas of reporting for enhanced transparency framework have to be registered on the platform? I think there is need to have another webinar on how transparency platform works, and we can benefit more. Thanks. So yes, so the climate transparency platform is open to all members who are able to register from countries even beyond the 4 experts who were nominated by countries. So it's an interactive platform for all the experts across the board, not just limited to 4 individuals. So you can actually encourage your friends from the countries to be able to join. They can be part as members of the network, not necessarily having core roles like uploading the information. But for those that were trained to upload information, there are those who were nominated by countries. But Susan can clarify more about that.
Thank you, Sheila, and thank you, David, for the question. As Sheila also said, we really encourage everyone to register. The focal points, of course, have some more editing rights, but we really encourage everyone to register and to be active on the platform, and also with relation to the through the different thematic areas of the ETF. As Sheila also mentioned, we would like to foster more communities of practice. So communities of practice for adaptation, for instance, for support and so on. So therefore, it would be really crucial to have the kind of thematic experts available from each country to engage in discussions, also to look for knowledge products and so on. So we really encourage everyone to register. It doesn't cost anything. It's really easy, and the more the merrier. And it's really we really want to have this community of practice and also the exchange forum up and running. So I think it would be good to have everyone there who's working on transparency in the country, also going beyond experts, as Sheila also said. And also we take note of the suggestion to have another webinar. I think it's a very good idea. I think we can plan for that in the relatively near future. Also when we have the user guidance available. So I think it's a good combination to kind of revive and remember basically how to use this platform, what things can be edited, what are the functionalities and so on. So we take note of that. Thanks so much for the suggestion, and we will invite you for a webinar soon accordingly. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So unless we have any other questions or clarifications that are needed, I would like us to now to go to the next session, where we are welcoming our colleagues from different countries to share their insights on the interventions that happened in their countries, on how the program supported them, and what were their lessons, and what areas of improvement would they want to see. So maybe I will open the floor to Mr. Clifford Makathama on behalf of Malawi, and then after we shall listen to Andrew Jean on behalf of Seychelles, and then someone from Eswatini. Thank you. The floor is yours, Mr. Clifford.
Thank you very much, Sheila, and thank you very much, dear colleagues. I have a few, areas that I would want to present on. I was asked to really share some of the experiences that we've gone through during the training that was supported by CBIT Global Support Program. So basically, Malawi is one of the countries as a signatory to the Paris Agreement, and that was also facilitating the CBIT program. We had a chance that through the UNEP office in Nairobi, we had a chance to communicate to Cher and her team to come and help out on training. And this training was focusing on one of the key sectors in Malawi. Actually, we are doing some data collection to establish a specific country-specific emission factors and activity data from the 4 key sectors for Malawi, which are agriculture, forestry, and other land use, AFORU. Then we also have the IPPU, which is industrial processes and product use. Then we have energy and transport, and also we have waste. But what we, after consultations, what we did was that we are focusing only on the AFOLU, IPPU, energy and transport. We have kind of shelved waste because there was another project that was doing the similar work within the University of Malawi, the University of Agriculture and Natural Resources. So those guys are the ones that are actually spending more time to collect data on waste. And then we also have been given a chance that we can use their data for the calculations of country-specific emission factors for that sector, and also the activity data. So in November last year, 2023, we asked the Global Support Program to come in and help us out on the inventories and how we can do GHG inventories within the waste sector. So we had invited experts from waste sector and those institutions that actually are involved in the waste management in Malawi, largely focusing on the city councils, town assemblies, and even the Ministry of Health, which has also a huge amount of waste. Apart from that, also we wanted to learn more on how we can track progress on the NDCs that are focusing on waste products. And so the main lessons that we've learned from that support that we've been given from Global Support Program is that in Malawi, basically, the waste sector is one sector that hasn't had enough data collected in terms of emissions. Basically, because we don't have managed landfills in Malawi, most of our landfills, I mean, surely we don't have one particular landfill that is well managed, but we have open landfills that are open spaces that are like, areas where people throw their waste. And I think waste management is still under in its infancy in Malawi. We need to really improve on it. And then because of that, I think there's a lot of, it's one area that we have a lot of greenhouse gas emissions from methane. And we know pretty much well that methane is, potentially more potent when it comes to global warming potential as compared to carbon dioxide. And we have also learned that most of the areas that support generating the emissions from the waste sector, like for example, septic tanks. And these septic tanks, there hasn't been any proper studies to document how many of them we have and how much emissions also are being produced from such structures. And it was an eye-opener when we actually going through this training, where we the facilitators, every through their session, every made us realize that is this area that is also very important that we can actually be seriously looking at to make sure that we do not have so much emissions from the waste sector through the septic tanks. Now, there's been a plan also from that workshop that we need to do some studies, comprehensive studies, to engage some consultants who can actually help us document or find the amount of emissions that Malawi is producing from such areas and then have empirical evidences that can help us plan on what kind of interventions we can do within the waste sector. And as Fatima alluded to in her opening remarks, that in-person meetings are quite important. And I think we also learned that through this support, that bringing people together to share ideas, to share lessons and then expertise and skills, it's very critical and important. And for the first time for Malawi, we had been, of course, talking about waste, but we had not, put our experts together to start to discuss, comprehensively over what we could possibly do as a country. And this really provide us a good space to make sure that we start to realize what are the things that we can possibly do. We also appreciate as a country that within the national determined commitments, the NDCs, that we have a document that was produced in 2021, we have, areas that we need to, improve on. Interventions that have been highlighted in there, including things like well-managed landfills. And I think after we had gone through this training, it became so clear that it's a possibility that as a country we can actually do that. But most importantly, also, if you are stuck, if we need more help, we can always have the global support program to come over and help us. And that's one lesson also that we also learned, because before we didn't even realize that these people would be asked to come and help us. So in terms of what are areas that of improvement for the CBIT-GSP support activities. In Malawi, the support needed to start earlier than the time the first training was initiated, because CBIT-GSP was supposed to target more sectors to share expertise and build capacity and institutions and individuals. So West sector was given this support, but other sectors, I think, need also this kind of support. Appreciating the level of expertise and information and which we got from the facilitators from the platform, from the program, we still feel as through even CBIT Malawi that maybe other areas of focus would be also important to come in. Maybe Cheryl would possibly be no better what other capacities they can give us. Well, like for example, we have issues that we need to really clarify in agriculture, for example, subsector of agriculture. We're talking about manure application, fermentation issues and stuff. So, and all those needed possibly some expert interventions from the program. Realizing how much information we got from the West, we are very sure that maybe the program also can give us more information and support on other key sectors or subsectors. Maybe another area that would possibly need some improvement would be that we need like an in-country field-based seminar, where possibly after doing some classwork or some closed-door kind of work, we need possibly to explore outside to enhance learning through hands-on and the practical sharing of knowledge and skills. So this needs possibly through planning, and the have to, of course, there'll be issues of budget implications, but we need to make sure that the capacity building of the stakeholders are built, even using our own in-country food-based experiences, where maybe the program can have an advanced planning with the in-country teams, and then you possibly visit those areas that we can actually learn from. Because like for the West training that we did, I was of the view that maybe we would have possibly even gone, and then possibly the facilitators that were doing this, especially those that came in. I remember Cheryl was always, she attended this one and trained us virtually, but we had also other members that came down to a physical presentation. And I think we needed to possibly to go out and have a feel of exactly what problems we have as a country in terms of waste management. And if you're going to do it on other sectors, likewise, you should also take them out for them to appreciate in terms of possibly land degradation issues and how this would be as part of activity data linked to emissions. So that kind of stuff. But as it comes back to the number of days not being enough, as one of the participants in the survey has indicated, maybe 2 days might not be enough. Maybe 3 days maybe not even be enough. Maybe 3 days of classroom work, 2 days of field-based learning would be more appropriate, because like people learn more by seeing what is happening on the ground. So basically, this is what I wanted to present to you, dear friends, in a really small way. But it is important that we are here together, all of us trying to learn from each other. And I think this global platform, I mean, the global support does give us that area where we can share more, that space that we can share more as we are doing. And maybe one thing before I also finish my presentation, I'm excited learning that knowledge, products, and materials, we can actually even ask the global support program to help out. It's one thing that I didn't realize. So we have actually, for example, produced the policy brief on the transparency in Malawi, which we did like as one of the deliverables in component 2 of our project. And we have done a lot of awareness campaigns within the ETF. And then now preparing for BTR, there's so much need that we need to have more knowledge and products and materials so that we can actually share and start to bring awareness to institutions and individuals as we are going towards the BTR in 2024. Thank you very much, Sharon and everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much for those insights. They were really, really there was a lot of learning from your experience. And I think we need to have more in-country experiences, but also take care of the gaps and the hiccups that you identified in terms of the timing and the approach, like you mentioned about the fieldwork experiences. So we have taken note of that, and I hope the future trainings will be better. I would like to take this opportunity to invite Andrew from Seychelles to share his experience on the encounter training. Thank you.
I hope you can hear me well. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes,
We can hear you.
Hello? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. We
Hello?
can hear you. Hello, we can hear you.
I think I have a little... You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I will try to address the 3 points like Sheila sent in the email. And the first one is really about the support that we've received from GSP CBIT. And just a little bit of background is that, we were first introduced to your organization back in February. I think that was the first contact we had before the regional Transparency Network meeting for Anglophone Africa in March last year. And then we participated in a training for NDC Tracking that was held later on. And also the main activity that we participated on was the 3-day GASMO training that was held in December last after the call. For Sheila reached out to us and we got somebody coming for 3 days. We completed because after we got from COP, so it was really difficult to get people to participate in the training. In fact, we had I think we had about 5 people totally that participated in the training. And just to remember, to keep in mind that Seychelles is a very small country of less than 100,000 people. So I think 5 people training for the participating in the training was a really good turnout for us. We would have liked to have more. And like Sheila pointed out in a presentation earlier, maybe we had 1 female and the rest of them were all male. So we tried to get more females to be trained. We tried very hard, and unfortunately, we did not get it. Because it's a very important exercise we started. And as we were finishing the BUR, a training came in at a very opportune time to provide insightful information on really what we need to do on thinking about the BTRs, because I think for us it was not too much important to place emphasis on BUR because that was the last BUR produced, and the arrangement, the BTR was going to be really where we need to pay attention. So that training really was helpful, and I think it prepared us very well because we have done some other training in the past on the tools we use for mitigation action. So that really, I think, the participants as a the training, we were really, continuing that training. Continuing on the line for the BTR and also for NDC tracking, because we saw this on NDC to be submitted in 2025. So this was important to focus the BTR, the new NDC. So the tool that we're started on will be helpful in reporting requirement agreement. What are the activity? Basically, it's positive for us because really this is going to be very, very handy for work.
Apologies, Andrew. Andrew?
Continue get on the use of the tool.
Andrew, can you hear me?
3-day training, and it was very
Hello, Andrew.
very intense.
Hello, Andrew. Can you hear me?
Down here. I think when I put my microphone on, there's something happening. Yeah, because I cannot hear you at all when you talk.
Now
so
you are more clear. You are more clear. Now we can hear you, but
you
we are
hear me
not
now?
hearing you.
Clear?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I put the microphone next to my mouth. Okay. I think what we need to do is continue to support because, as I said, for us, we have a very small technical population who can participate in the activities when it comes to the CIT. And
maybe you could also consider switching off your camera so that the network can be more stable.
Is that better now?
Yes, now we can hear your voice.
You have to type something in the text sheet because I cannot hear you. Is it better now that I've switched off the camera?
Yes, it is better.
Okay. So I think number 3, I will be very brief here, is what are the areas of improvement? I think areas of improvement is continuing support on what has started, because I think that's probably for us the best way of improving on something is to continue with what we've learned. So we made a decision here that we will continue with GASMO, and we will try to apply it to the NDC and to the NDC tracking and also to the BTRs. So rather than try, keep learning new tools, trying to find out information from everywhere else, we focus on really what we started and we keep improving in that. So for us, more support on tools that will be used for NDC tracking and also for the BTR process is where we're going to benefit more. And with this, I would like to thank you for allowing me to participate in this presentation, and hope that I hope that you heard most of the things I said, given the technical details we had. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that was very insightful. The learning and also having to synthesize and focus on one tool as a country and getting support from the program, we really appreciate so much. I think it's also a lesson, maybe what other countries can pick to agree on a specific tool and then concentrate on getting capacity in that tool as at national level, which can help build more capacity in country going forward. That was a very big lesson from my side, and I hope that we shall continue to support you virtually. For all the countries that have received in-country support, we can also continue to support you virtually on some of the elements that were not well picked. And do not hesitate, always contact me, contact the trainers who were in-country to continue with the support. So at this moment, I would also like to invite Madame Simengale from Eswatini to give her insights on the lessons learned. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Sheila. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mangele, as mentioned. I would also like to present on the support the country has received from CBIT-GSP in refining national climate reporting. The country has also received support from the CBIT-GSP to strengthen climate change monitoring and reporting in the country, including the development and of an MRV system, and the system will track and report on the NDC indicators to track progress towards achieving the NDC commitments. So I will only stick to one activity, which is the in-country training that we received in November 22 to 23 November 2023, and the main objective of the in-country training was to improve a certain national experts' understanding of the ETF methodologies for reporting and technical capacity to develop the smart indicators and targets for the NDC. And you may recall, as you may recall, that we have revised our NDC in 2021, and now we have also developed an NDC implementation plan. So we really need to ensure that our indicators, our KPIs are smart enough. So in that training, national stakeholders were introduced to the ETF and the reporting modalities under the Paris Agreement, and they were also provided with critical information on the available tools and methodologies for reporting and tracking under the ETF. Sectoral experts were also received hands-on training on the development of smart indicators for NDC tracking and filling the CRT, the common reporting tables. This training assisted Eswatini to do a self-assessment exercise to assess its readiness to meet the December 2024 deadline for the submission of the first triennial transparency report using the BTR tool by FAO. And the stakeholders were subsequently able to highlight the various institutional challenges, the barriers, and capacity needs that is critical to strengthen and enhance the national readiness to meet the demands of the ETF meet the demands of the ETF. So this training really has gone a long way in assisting the national experts, especially those who are involved in transparency. It has really equipped the country extensively. It has helped us to be able to track the NDC with smart indicators, especially when ensuring that the BTR and the ETF requirements are met. In terms of areas of improvement for the CBIT GSP support, I think if CBIT GSP can just increase the number of trainings for the national experts in transparency in the country, because we're just behind when it comes to we will lack the capacity in transparency. We also need to increase, maybe if you can also increase the duration of the training. Say, if I remember the training was 2 days, maybe it can be maybe a week long training. Maybe that can assist us greatly. But we also need to have more practicals in the training, because Hello?
Yes, hello,
Hello?
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, there was a sound that was coming. Okay. Okay, I was saying that maybe if we can increase the duration of the training, say maybe a week long, or maybe 3 to 4 days training, and maybe even if the trainings can be more practical, this can help us a lot as a country. Otherwise, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And it has really come out clearly that we need to have more trainings. We need to have more time on practical sessions. But also, I would also urge countries to continue with some of the exercises. And if you have some gaps, you can always reach out to us, because we leave more information of the training materials than what we actually talk about and what exercise we do. So I would like to urge that countries also take that kind of direction of reading and getting in touch with us to have more insights, but that feedback is well taken note of. And I would also like to inform you that all these trainings we are talking about from the different countries, information is uploaded on our climate transparency platform. Even other countries can go and upload and maybe benefit from some of the training materials. So do not hesitate to just utilize the platform. So without really going into another session so much, I would like to ask if any of us in this meeting has any questions or any feedback on what was presented before we can go to another session where I will be running a Menti to ask your views on what you think about our next planning. Any questions? Your views on what has been presented? So I will present the Menti. The code, you'll forgive us, we are using different codes for the Mentis. So for this Mentimeter, the code is 8888 5 times and then 069. I would request that since we are all here in a meeting, we download the Menti, because at least this session is going to help us introduce us to our next work planning, and your feedback is very critical so that we do not miss any of your views. So I would like to request you to download the Menti and use the code on the screen. Apologies that we are using different codes for the different Menti sessions. So we would like to get your views on what is your country's status for the first BTR process. So would like to know what the status is, what your plans are, and this is very important for us so that we can know where to focus our effort, considering the status of the different countries. We are aware that countries are at different stages, so it would be very important that we understand where to put our effort. So thank you so much for those who have started responding. As you can see from the screen, kindly download the Menti, and the code is on the screen, 5 times and then 069. So I will go to the next question of the Menti, which is, will your country be able to submit your BTR by end of 2024? Somehow unlikely, I can see, very unlikely. That is in preparation for climate transparency. And of course, this would be very important for us to know where you need the support, because we are here to support you to ensure that we are doing the reporting, timely reporting, but also quality reporting. So we would want to get your feedback on why you think you are not able, so that we can put our effort there. in terms of our capacity support. So this feedback is very important. I can only see 6 people and we are more than 20 people in this meeting. So it would be nice we get more feedback. This is a sensitive, for us, this is a sensitive session where we need to know about your status on the BTR, because it's what is building momentum for the enhanced transparency reporting. So kindly log in your Menti and give us your feedback. Thank you so much. I can see the numbers are increasing, and I am happy that we have some countries in Africa where we are very likely to meet the deadline of December 2024. And even somewhat likely is a very good thing. Since we are in January, by June, we shall be in very likely. So getting your feedback is very important to identify where we can put effort as a program. Kindly log in and give us your feedback. So is your country planning to make use of the flexibility provisions in the BTR? Yes, to a large extent. This is very good because they are provided so that we can use them, but also create a basis for us to improve in future. So the flexibility provisions are good for us LDCs to help us start as a starting point, but also create a basis for our improvement in future. Yes, so someone is saying not sure. Maybe you will tell us why. Yeah, so thank you so much for logging in. I can see only 8 responses. Kindly, Menti is still on. Download the app. It works well even on phone. As long as you're on internet, use the code that is provided so that we can get good feedback about the BTR plans for your country. Thank you. Our next question, what are the main challenges in meeting the deadline? Staff recruitment, training in some areas, none for seniors as yet, funding processes and appointment of the service provider. We are far being with behind our activities. We have not even brought project staff on board, capacity to prepare the report. We had a high turnover of our experts. Most have left the ministry, and now we have a new team. We need more training. So if you need more trainings on elements to do with BTR preparation, kindly go to our climate transparency platform. There is a link for request for support. Or if it is so long for you, kindly reach out to me. We can have a bilateral meeting and we discuss and see what kind of support you need so that we come in handy to support your country. The country has not yet received funding for BTR. So I will keep looking out on this Menti to get your views and feedback, because they are very important for us to position our energies on what capacities we can support on the process of developing the BTR. So the other question is about what crucial support does your country require in order to meet the deadline? Roadmap development, training in ETF, tools, technical support, technical capacity on GHG inventory and NDC tracking, technical capacity, GHG inventory and capacity building. So, but also as a country, if you feel you need to understand the BTR process so that it helps you to identify the capacity needs, we are here to support that, and we can have a bilateral webinar and we go through together and we discuss, but also the process of developing the BTR roadmap helps to understand and get awareness on the capacity required and assess what the country has to help the country now identify the capacity needs for the process. So we are here to support that process. Do not hesitate, get in touch with me. There is a form on the platform that you can fill and share with me. So I will be waiting to hear from you. We have 8 responses and I expect more so that we can have strategically position ourselves to have more BTR submitted by 2024 from Anglophone Africa. So is your country planning to prepare a roadmap for its first BTR? I'm happy to see many countries very eager to prepare a roadmap. I'm here to support that process. It's not a very long process. I have gone through with other countries. We have plans to start next week with other 2 countries. So I am anxiously waiting for those requests, and I've been reaching out. I hope to get more countries to support. So do not hesitate to contact me, those who are saying not sure. So we are here. Already developed BTR roadmap. Thank you. So I'm waiting to get more responses from participants on this. And thank you so much for your responses. But the Menti code is still open. You can always go. If you are not able to download it now, give us your feedback. It is very useful. Thank you. So you will allow me to go to the next session, where I will now request participants. I hope all of us are now part of the meeting. Usually we would take photos in the first part of the meeting, and would miss out on some who have not joined the meeting. I can see we are 24. I will request that we all switch on our cameras. We put on our best smiles for the new year, and then we can take a photo. Kindly switch on your cameras. I don't want to take blank spaces. It is very tedious to fill them when I'm presenting in reports. So kindly put on your cameras with best smiles from Africa. Africa will know how to smile so that we can take beautiful photos. Yeah, I will try to wait for all of you. I can see some that are not yet switched on. I can see some camera is switched off, so you might need to open your camera. It's open, but I don't see the photo of a person. Kindly take note of opening your cameras. I can see so many cameras are not yet on. So I will request that you switch on your cameras, please. We need to take photos that have people's faces smiling. Kindly smile. I have one camera not on, so I will request that you smile. It's the moment, the photo moment.
Can't put my camera on. It's on, but I can't. Can you see me here?
I cannot see you. Let me come. I'm first taking this one. So let me see next. I'm trying to see the next views. I see that others have no cameras on. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this one has, this page has, so I will take this one also. So where are your best smiles? It's the camera moment. Yeah, thank you.
Very nice to see your faces. So that's a great opportunity to have a picture.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I think I have taken most of them, and I would like to say thank you so much for enjoying the camera moments. So we can go to the next session. If you have any question at this stage, kindly let me know, or you can put up your hand, or you open your microphone and speak. Feel free to speak. Any questions, any contribution to the meeting, it will be very important. But if we don't have, I would request that you allow me to make the next presentation about the work plan for 2024. And I hope you can see my presentation. So we have been able to put the work plan together for the 2024, and compilation of the work plan was based on the activities contained in the global support project priorities, of course, and then priorities for compilation for the BTR and the mandatory parts of the reporting. And that's why I have told you that our next regional program, for instance, it will be mainly focusing on the GHG inventory. And we have other maybe mutual learning activities, which will be focusing on tracking of NDCs, and then adaptation reporting. I'm sorry, that is a mistake. I don't know how it came like that. And then, but also developing this work plan was also based on the synthesis of the proposed areas from the different trainings and webinars, from the evaluation and feedback that we have been receiving from the in-country and regional trainings. And then we have also, for some specific in-country activities, we had an opportunity to have discussions with countries, bilateral discussions, where we agreed on the specific support for 2024. And I would like to appreciate for some of those countries which were able to sacrifice their time during Christmas time to actually come up with those in-country activities. So you will find that in this work plan, we have already put in some in-country activities for some countries, but that shouldn't stop other countries from reaching out to us, because sometimes we are flexible. We are planning mutual learning activities where we can have more than one country learn together. So you reaching out to us will help us to group together the learning and also the methodology for learning. So without really going into much talking, I will start with saying that we have some startup activities, the network meetings, where we are now on the 18th. We have been able to have this regional network meeting, and I can see it is bringing out very many insights to inform 2024 activities. Then we hope that by end of this month, we shall be able to have this work plan approved, and most of activities already running. Yes, already some activities are running as we speak. Then global meeting for CBIT, for CBIT Global Support Program. We have planned this activity for March, and I think Fatima Zahra talked about it in her opening remarks, so if I skipped it, but this one will be focusing on bringing together all the focal points from the network and all the steering committee members for the Global Support Program to have a meeting together. We were supposed to inform you at a later, before even last year, but we are still into preparations and agreeing on the venue and all the other elements. But anytime, mark your calendar in March, we might be able to launch this meeting, which is a very important meeting for us. Then under regional and global activities, we have planned a series of webinars, and one of them is introduction to BTR provisions and lessons learned from other countries and other network countries. So we shall be having South Africa and Liberia to present. And then we also have introduction to adaptation planning, current adaptation reporting arrangements as part of the BTR. And we hope this one will be more of a mutual learning activity. We are still agreeing on the concept, on the approach, and I will be approaching different countries to participate. So we shall group countries together, but I hope by the time we finish the year, all the countries will have had this kind of learning. Then we are planning for a training on requirements for GHG National Inventory Report as part of the BTR and Paris Agreement. So this is the hands-on in-country, in-room training that we were talking about, that we expect that most of you countries will participate. Usually we have like 2 experts, but we hope to get in more support from other partners so that we can have more participants from different countries. We plan to have this meeting in Rwanda, and we shall be informing you when the processes for planning start. Still under regional and global activities, we shall have a webinar on institutional arrangements for transparency systems, including lessons learned, specifically for different sectors from three network countries, that is Mauritius, Seychelles, and Botswana. And we hope that if we get countries to share for how the different sectors have been organized based on the capacity received over the past years, I think it will enhance learning for other countries to know that you can start with one sector and then organize the other sectors in terms of enhanced transparency reporting. So we are starting with energy sector, and I hope that going forward we shall have more learning and so that other countries can actually think that it's possible to organize a sector in a more transparency way. Then we have another activity which we hope that it will be hands-on, and this specific activity we are collaborating with UNDP to support the Anglophone Africa countries on transparency reporting under the Paris Agreement. We think that even from the feedback we have got during this meeting, it will be more a BTR clinic whereby we are looking at addressing the specific challenges per country, but whereby each country will be in the same room, whereby we are trying to learn from each other, and we hope to design it prior to the clinic, to the regional meeting, so that it can be more. It can help to remove the gaps that can fail us to report by 2024. So maybe this will focus on those countries that have started on the process and they have a few challenges. So we hope that it will be very impactful and also helping to make the process move faster, and also lay strategies for fast tracking the BTR reporting process for those specific countries. Then introduction to the updated gender toolkit. We started the process and last year, and we hope that maybe this process by July we shall have done that and engage different countries to update, to get information that can be used to update the tool. Then also, as part of the regional and global activities, we hope to have peer learning. This peer learning across the CBIT national project members to share their best practices, technical insights and challenges and constraints in implementing their national CBIT projects. It will also mainly be focusing on the GHG systems and their MRV systems in a way, but this peer learning is slotted for February, end of February, and the concept has been agreed upon, and countries have started applying for their visa, those that need. So this is a peer learning between Zimbabwe, Sierra Leone, and South Africa, Eswatini, and Malawi, and it will be hosted by Zimbabwe. And we are doing this in collaboration with UNEP. So there is another peer learning activity hosted by South Africa, which will also take place in March. And the activities are the countries that will be participating are Kenya, Namibia, Malawi, Ghana, the Gambia, and Zambia. I hope the countries South Africa has got in touch with you. The main focus of this peer learning is about sharing knowledge and experience on monitoring and evaluation of climate action for implementing the ETF under the Paris Agreement. Also, the concept and the agenda has been agreed within those countries, and we hope that we shall have more sharing of this nature among the countries within Anglophone Africa, because it helps to learn faster when we learn from our own. Then we also have a plan for some of the national activities. One of the activity that we have planned for is hands-on training on modeling tools for projecting GHG emissions. Nigeria was supposed to agree on which tool, so that we get an expert to support them in energy sector. So we shall be waiting for that feedback. We hope that it can be done in August. We received a request for that training. So most of these in-country or national trainings, we received their requests for support. We are also planning a hands-on training on GHG inventory using IPCC 2006 guidelines on LULUCF sector for the Gambia. And then another hands-on training in the same sector for Zambia and Zimbabwe. These two trainings are taking place. The one of Zimbabwe took place 2 days ago. The one of Zambia is ongoing as we speak. I hope that's why they are even not able to join this meeting. This activity, we are collaborating with FAO. It is a very I would call it, it's very technical, and we urge countries which are applying for these requests for support to create more time, and if possible, create national resources so that they are able to benefit more and have their experts benefit more. And maybe without where I'm saying resources, countries should put in more resources. They are talking about time that is needed for training, but we need resources to extend more days. So it would be very important that as you request for this support, you consider the resources. You can lobby from other or leverage from other activities that are ongoing within the government system on enhanced transparency to increase just 1 day. Usually the resources are not so much, but it needs better planning and focused planning, and I can still support in that discussion. But we have these very insightful trainings ongoing, and I'm happy that we hope that this year also Gambia will take off. We have another planned development of roadmap in preparation for the first BTR for South Sudan. We had slated it for January, but I think it will start by end of January and cross to February, because there are certain things that needed to be confirmed within the country. And then also Lesotho, it will also start in January, end of January, and also flow to February. So all these activities for roadmap development are ongoing, and some of these countries have already booked their slots for the support. Then we have hands-on training on enhancing institutional arrangements and effective implementation of ETF framework in Uganda. This support has also been requested by Uganda, and we plan to start that in March. It has series. We hope to have a clear roadmap on how we can deliver those that support. For Uganda is doing their second BTR. Then mutual learning for national experts on improving NDC indicators to enhance tracking of NDC. So this is another mutual learning that I was telling you about, which we shall organize among the different countries that have requested for support for the same support. We hope that if we conduct mutual learning and it's well organized, it can create better learning and also better utilization of resources and effort, distribution of effort, because as you may be aware, we do not have a lot of expertise, but if we utilize our experts very well, we can be able to reach out to many countries. And that's why we are coming out with these innovations of mutual learning. Then training of national experts on development of NDC indicators to enhance the tracking of commitments. We have this activity slotted for February with Mauritius. This request came in last year, so we hope that maybe within February, or we can renegotiate if we are so packed to have this activity also done at national level. Then under the other regional network exchange activities, we hope to have sharing of best practices, development, especially development and institutionalizing the QA/QC procedures. We know that some countries have been able to achieve this. We have Rwanda, we have even Ghana. So we hope to bring some of these good lessons that countries have already done for other countries to learn, and this will be a series of webinars. I hope you'll be able to sacrifice time and attend. Then we have sharing of best practices, unpacking, implementation and adoption of modeling tools. We shall have Mauritius and of course the other global support networks share on how they have been doing this. And then we have sharing best practices on development of robust MRV transparency systems. South Africa has always wanted to share their experiences on this, and that's why they are organizing peer learning, but we shall also have another webinar series of how they can share with all of us virtually, and I think it will be a very good learning experience. And then we have sharing best practices on development of national climate statistics reports. So this one, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Uganda, they have already started on the initial processes. We shall bring them here to share with us on how each of the countries has taken these new initiatives and the approaches they are using. Maybe this one will create a momentum for other countries to be able to organize themselves. This process, I think, helps to organize data and statistics on GHG reporting. So I think it will be a very good learning for us. So that is the work plan. And I hope to show you how you can request for support on our climate transparency platform. As you can see, this is how the platform looks like. And step one, you coordinate the request with the CBIT a contact person in your country. Different countries have nominated different focal points who have the rights within our platform to editing rights, but also you can send the form to me or get in touch with me to share with you the template if it becomes difficult for you to download, and then work through the application, identify resources and negotiate with the country to be able to submit to us, and then we can provide support. So you can always go to the platform and do that. So I will not really finish by forgetting to thank the core team that really supports me to network with you, my fellow Anglophone Africa members. And I take this opportunity to thank this team you see on the screen. They have been really there for us to make sure that we build this capacity and enhance transparency. And thank you so much. So I will request members to give me their feedback on what they think about the work plan.
Sheila, just before a quick thing. So with regards to the global meeting, actually we are planning now to have the global meeting sometime during end of April. So stay tuned for some invitations. We hope to be able to send invitations next week, but the dates and the venues are still to be confirmed. So that's one thing. The second is, as you know, during last year, we have, for the in-person workshops, we have concentrated on NDC tracking. This year, we will be concentrating on inventories. And as you know, these are the two elements that are important for the BTR, not important, but compulsory for the BTR. All other elements are important, of course, especially adaptation for developing countries. But inventory and NDC tracking are the ones that are compulsory for the BTR. So I imagine that many of you might need to prioritize this BTR if you would like to submit on time these two chapters. So that's why we would like to concentrate our trainings on these two elements this year. So we have covered NDC tracking as an in-person training last year, and this year we do the inventory. We are also aware of how important adaptation is for developing countries, and for that we have developed a virtual workshop for adaptation. So it will be constituted by a series of 5 webinars, so 5 sessions, and we do hope that most of you and your colleagues that deal with adaptation reporting would participate. So we will be also concentrating in terms of in-country support on IPCC guidelines, because we see that most of the needs relate to that. Also on NDC tracking. So please do reach out to Sheila. There is no need to complicate things by asking for permissions in the platforms. If you don't have that, just reach out directly to Sheila, and she can have also a meeting with you and do the support form together with you. So please do whatever is easy for you, because the most important thing is to have the need identified, formulated, so we can plan that in the work plan. Another activity that we feel is very important, and that's also true for all other networks, is the BTR roadmap. because as we have seen in the results of the survey, many of the countries, and I think probably a majority in Africa, have not yet started. So it is quite important to have a work plan and a roadmap for the BTR ready. And for that, please also do reach out to Sheila if you are interested by this activity. Of course, we try to have as many activities in person as possible. However, the project's budget is limited. And also we welcome collaboration with other organizations and also with the other projects that are present in the country. So the BTR projects, enabling activities projects, and CBIT projects that sometimes have the resources that in terms of for travel and for venues and so on that we might not have. So please do bear with us and take that into consideration, that some of the activities we might not be able to have that in person. However, having them also in virtual format is as good as, especially for some of the activities. Of course, when it's an IPCC guideline or a modeling tool training, it is preferable to have it in person. But there are some other activities that can be good to have also in a virtual format. So please, we ask for your understanding on that. The other elements that I wanted to touch upon is also in terms of organization and logistic. It is really important to kind of firm up the support that is needed as early as possible, and also stick to the dates that were agreed and not change them very late, like 1 week before we had that experiences. And it's really hard to deal with that, because there is travel, there is experts availability and so on. So that's an element that we need also to take into account. And I will stop here. Back to you, Sheila.
Thank you so much for that elaboration on some of those activities. Very critical. I have a comment in the chat about if we had a presentation shared, especially on the work plan, it would really be helpful, so we can pencil down activities that each country will participate in. Yes, we shall share the work plan with you, and that's why I put in the work plan presentation about approval. We shall be sharing the work plan with you. And then, yes, we are open for always. You can always get in touch with us, contact us so that we can move faster. When you get in touch with us, the process moves faster. Thank you for that feedback. So I would like to ask other colleagues if you have any other feedback on the work plan, or if you don't have, I will request that you go to the next session where we are going to listen to our colleagues from South Sudan, from South Africa, and from Mauritius share their insights on this year's work plan. So I will request for Madame Aisha, if she's here, and to share her insights, and then also Mr. Selo and Mr. Nelson from South Sudan. Thank you. Yeah, Nelson, I can see you have already unmuted. Kindly go ahead. The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you for the comprehensive presentation. I hope you are getting me well.
We can hear you.
Getting me clear? Yes. Okay. Thank you for the presentation on the work plan. Yes, I think the work plan has really captured most of the things that we have planned also at the national level, though there are other areas that we are also concentrating to do in our work plan as a country in 2024 that are not part of the work plan of the network. But of course, we are still here available. We can reach to you and maybe later on include also if it is still possible. You have talked in your plan about the training on GHG inventory, which also to us we see as a core, and is one of the key areas that we are also focusing on it, the training on the GHG inventory and the modeling tools. And we are also planning to do in-country training on the tracking of the NDCs, developing indicators, specifically the adaptation indicators, which also it has been captured in your work plan. And also we are planning to develop a monitoring framework. You know, with the support from UNDP, South Sudan has developed an integrated MRV tool, which is still not operationalized up to now, but there is no framework that guides the operationalization of the tool. So meanwhile, we are working on operationalizing the MRV tool. We also wanted to develop MRV framework that can guide the country in the operationalizing the tool. And then also, issues of data are so critical to us that we have a lot of data gaps, and managing data is a problem. So we are thinking also if we can have in-country training on the data management, sustainable management of data, and the institutional arrangement of data system. And on the BTR roadmap, yes, we had a discussion. We are supposed to have it this week. Unfortunately, due to some issues, we could not have it, but probably we will have it by the end of this month. The training on BTR roadmap, but of course we have not yet accessed funding for BTR, but we had approved fund for BUR, which we have not yet started the implementation, and we are discussing with partners on whether we can still go on with them working on the BUR, or the partners can request for additional funding so that we can transition into the BTR. But considering our national circumstance, the available capacity that we have, we still see it good for us to start with the BUR. This is something that also we'll discuss with the network, the GSP block, the guests, so that we can also support us on how we can go along with that. And the South Sudan has not also accessed the funding for the CBIT national project. We have not yet implemented that. And we are also discussing with our partners here, because UNDP is the one that is supporting us in the MRV process here in the country. And we are discussing also with UNDP on how we can put the PIF, or the concept note, for the CBIT project, so that the country can also access that one. Because with the CBIT project, I think we will be able to do a lot of things. I had Fatima did mention that the countries have the CBIT project. It can complement the work that the CBIT-GSP is doing. So that is briefly what I can add on to what you have presented on our side at the national level, what we are planned for. My colleague John is also online. If maybe he can also add some insights into the work plan. Thank you.
John, kindly unmute yourself and add some insights in the work plan. Thank you. So as we wait for John, this is just an open question to all of us, not to those specific countries. From your side, to what extent do the proposed activities for 2024 match your country priorities? The floor is open. You can give us your insights. You can tell us your needs. And then, are there other needs that have been covered, that have not been covered in this work plan? So the floor is open, not for only those countries that I mentioned. We can also listen from other countries. Like I can see we have representation from Liberia. We have representation from Lesotho. So kindly unmute your microphones and give us your insights. Yeah, I can see John, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, John, and thanks, Wani, for that. Sorry, I was also on the phone with the minister, so I had the assignment also already assigned to me. So as Wani has said, I would actually like to echo on as part of the work plan. As you know, that South Sudan, we did not do our BUR, and we have some resources with UNEP. So what we had actually discussed with UNEP is actually top up some money to $350,000 that we have, to add another 200,000. And that 200,000 will be used both to finalize the BUR and also to develop the BTR. So this is the process where we are in. And then also the second one also that we are still negotiating with UNDP. because UNEP said that they will not be in the same position to implement the projects as an implementing agent and execute the project at the same time. So we had been engaging with UNDP to make sure that UNDP will be the executing agents in developing our BTR and also to finalize the BUR. So this is the only thing I can add, and most of the things have already been captured by Wani. So I thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, John from South Sudan. I would like to listen from other countries. To what extent are the proposed activities, to what extent have they captured your needs in terms of capacity needs? I can see Mr. Kalala from Lesotho. Kindly unmute and give us your insights. This is a general discussion. It would be nice to listen to you.
All right, thank you, Sheila, for affording me the opportunity. I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Am I audible? Can I go ahead?
Please go ahead. You are very
All
audible.
right. Okay, thank you. And in fact, it has covered our needs to a larger extent. NDC tracking indicators and what was also not in that was not reflected there is data acquisition for loss and damage, which we feel we need capacity on. But to the larger extent, our needs are covered in the work plan. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that feedback. I'll give a chance to another person from any other country to give us their insights. Kindly feel free. This is your network, so it will be nice that we hear from you. This is our work plan. We have it together and we shall have to achieve it together. So your feedback is very important. So as we wait for the feedback, I think then this ushers us to the last part of our meeting. The last part of our meeting, I'll be running a Menti survey to get your feedback on what you feel about this meeting. So I will share the Menti. I will request that you also use a different code for this Menti. Yeah, I can see. Oh yeah, Selo, kindly go ahead. The floor is open.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you for affording us this opportunity. I thought you had forgotten about us because now we are going to the Menti survey. I'm here with Malebu Selet. She's a colleague of mine. Unfortunately, Sandra could not attend this meeting due to other commitments. I think the work plan actually covers a lot of activities that are planned in South Africa for 2024. We have done some work in 2023, and we are planning on doing a lot of activities that are included in your work plan. The first one, we are going to be doing the national training with for the GHG inventory compilation using the IPCC guidelines. And then we are also planning on doing national training on the long-term capacity building strategy on GHG inventory compilations and mitigations impact assessments. We are also planning to have training with developed countries for the peer-to-peer learning exchanges, where we will share information on our GHG inventory compilation, our NDC tracking, our gender mainstreaming into climate change, the National Climate Change Information System that we we have been doing with provinces in South Africa. We are going to share that information with countries, the countries that you mentioned in your work plan. And we also developed our roadmap for the first submission of our BTR. And we have also done one workshop on the peer-to-peer learning with the United States of America. My colleague Malevo just went to the ladies' room. When she comes back, I will ask her to give a little bit of information on that workshop because she had attended. I didn't attend that workshop. And yeah, we are also going to be part of the peer-to-peer learning workshop in Zimbabwe, where we will share our GHG inventory compilation as well as our institutional arrangements. That's basically what we have planned for this year for our CBIT project in South Africa. That's where I'll stop, Sheila. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm happy that you have been able to come out. So I apologize because I was not seeing your name. I thought that maybe you are not logged in, but I'm happy that you are able. I mentioned your name, but I was not seeing it on the screen. Wow.
If I may respond to that, remember when we had our planning meeting for the Zimbabwe peer-to-peer, I had computer problems. I'm still experiencing those computer problems, but it should be sorted soon. So
okay.
In our next meeting, if you don't see my name, if you see someone from South Africa, just know I'm there as well. I'm attending from their machine until my problem is sorted. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for that feedback. Thank you so much. And please let us know when your colleague comes back because we would like to learn from what she learned from that peer learning with the USA. That will be good. So I can see a comment. I will be reading a comment about is the final work plan for 2020? Is this the final work plan for 2024? Yes, this can be updated. That's the reason as to why I'm presenting it to the network so that I get your feedback and I can refine it and update it. Yeah, I can see Fatima has already responded. Thank you so much for that question. So maybe if you can allow me, if we don't have any other feedback, but the floor is open for countries to share. I don't know if Aisha from Mauritius is with us. I was also not seeing her name. Maybe she's also joining using another person's computer. If she's around, it would be good that she shares her insights on this work plan. But if she's not around, any other country is free to share. This is our work plan. We have to own it and improve it together. Thank you. And if we do not have, you will allow me to share the Menti, the survey, which is the last part of this meeting. And I will still request that you use this as a different code. This Menti has a different code, 44590893. Kindly, if you are already downloaded with a Mentimeter, kindly use this code for this Menti. Apologies. Next time we shall use one Menti so that it's easy for us to go to the next. Kindly use this one, 44590893. It's on the screen. You can always look at it. Our first question is, how satisfied are you with this workshop? Someone is saying they are very satisfied, but we will have to wait for more responses. Thank you. We are so many people in this meeting, so it would be nice that all of us give us their views. It's a very good feedback for us to improve and better planning. So if we get your feedback, it is good. So the next question is about how relevant was this workshop for your work? We can see that some people are saying extremely relevant, very relevant, moderately relevant. Your feedback is very important. And then, of course, how can we improve this in future? But since we are very many in this workshop, we have just a few responses, and sometimes it can bias our conclusion. So if we have more responses, it helps us to have unbiased results. Because if 5 out of 27 are saying moderate or relevant, then we are not very sure. But it would be nice to have most of us respond to this, because the feedback is very important, especially if we get more responses. I will ask you, the code is 44590893 for this Menti. I think the more we have, for instance, now we have only 5 responses. It would be nice we have more, so that it can give us a clear overview of how the workshop was moderated and the impact it creates. So how can we improve this workshop in future? Maybe in-person workshop can be useful. It would be in the morning, okay, but you know we have different time zones. So to manage the morning hours of South Africa, West Africa, it can be very challenging. And in most cases, when we put it very early in the morning, West Africans miss out because it's really very early in the morning. So you will have to bear with us when it comes to the timing, but we shall still put that in consideration. More interaction from countries, yes. Don't always feel shy. Open the mic and speak. I think it would be very important to also hear your voice, see your picture. Since most of the work we do it virtually, it becomes so good when we see people's pictures on the screen, and it creates a different feel. So in person and more hands-on to work on country plans. Yes, we shall consider that, and we hope that when we have a chance of having maybe regional meetings, we shall be having more country discussions to feed within the work plan. So we shall put that in consideration, increase the time allocation for the webinar. Yes, we have already surpassed the time we had planned. So I don't know how much time you can give, but for me, this is good because we are planning series of webinar for the same topic. So I can see that we shall have that resilience to have online trainings. Then more insight from countries, more learning comes from enhanced interaction. Yes, I would want to hear more voices speak, especially in our virtual meetings. Sometimes you can see it's difficult for me to keep calling out people to unmute their mics, but always feel free to speak. Then plan more to peer learning. Yes, we are planning more to peer. And if a country has some resources to plan peer-to-peer learning, we are always here to support those initiatives. If you have some resources, or if there is a potential collaboration for us with someone who has some money that we can leverage on to plan peer-to-peer learning, it would be very good to get in touch with us. Yes, I can see someone is saying morning hours. Yes, we shall put that in consideration. Do you have any other comments you would like to share? The workshop was good, thank you. Maybe in person, more voices. Yes, we are yearning for everyone to speak. Share the meeting date or meeting link well in time. Yes, I started sharing this link last year, and I've been sending updates. Maybe if I included you in the email a bit late, apologies about that, but we always want to share in time so that it can help book your calendars, considering your competing activities, frequent meeting, even online to monitor progress. Thank you. The workshop has been very informative. Thank you for that. And I would like to thank you so much, but the Menti is still open. Those who have not given us their feedback, you are welcome to give us your feedback. And I would like to say thank you and thank you. Unless we have to get closing remarks. Anyone willing to give us closing remarks from any country, it would be very good. Let me first look at these messages here. Yes. If you are willing to give us any closing remarks from any country, that would be very good. I'll just give you like 2 minutes. I can see someone from Tanzania. Mr. Issa, the floor is open. You can give us the closing remarks so that we can hear from you. But otherwise, thank you for joining. Anyone willing to give us closing remarks? Thank you for joining. I can see Mr. Cham from the Gambia. You can give us closing remarks. This is our network, and feel free to speak and send us your views. But if you are not willing to give us closing remarks, I would like to stop here and say thank you so much for staying with us for over 2 hours, and I appreciate your contribution, and I hope to finalize the work plan and share with you. From me, bye-bye.
Yeah, just before leaving. So yeah, thank you all very much for your participation. It's really appreciated that you have taken the time to give us your feedback and to actively engage in this meeting. The ball now basically is in your court, so please do reach out to Sheila with your needs in terms of in-country support. That's very important, and that's what would allow us to finalize the work plan and plan the activities for the year. So please do not be shy. Get in touch with her. There is no need at the start for any request for support. Just reach out to her and she would organize a meeting with you, and then you can discuss and prioritize the needs, and based on that you can do the support form. So please don't make it complicated, and Sheila will not also make it complicated. It's really easy to get the support as long as it is identified in advance and we can plan ourselves properly for the year. So thank you very much. Thank you, Sheila, for organizing this meeting, and thank you all for participation. And we really very much look forward to working with you this year. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
At least unmute and say
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye. Late to